so freaking late.
Insert mad line here.
There, yeah. I don't know what to say.
We could apologize in Mandarin like John Cena.
Dekimaska or whatever he says. Oh yeah, that's it.
Xi Ping.
That's what we need. We need that so I can throw that up there when I screw up. Ba-doo-ba-doo.
Hello, Sporkerz.
Awkward. Culture needs to work on that. There we go.
It's still upside down. Let's see.
Wow. You just went 2008 right there. All right. Oh, wait a minute. I got to get ready to cut this off because it takes 7 hours. Yes, sirree, babe. We are here. It is the dump, and I am ready to go finally. Sorry for the late start, everybody. I could not get a child to sleep. But I'll do my Amber Heard apology. I'm so sorry. Whew. All right, let's do this.
You gotta rub your forehead. That's where her tears came out of.
Yeah, exactly. Because she's an alien. How's everybody doing tonight? This is the Humpty Dump. Go for it, Mr. Grant Gregory.
I'm doing good. I'm really happy to be here. We had an awesome chat backstage with Vinyard, and it turns out that there's a little bit of a weird connection with 3 of these panel members. I won't say what it is, but yeah, it was interesting to find out a little bit more about V-Man, which is now a new nickname I'm going to call him.
Did you say weed connection?
V.
Oh.
He called me V-Man, but there's no weed connection. No.
Okay, just making sure. Yeah, Morgan, I will not apologize. Definitely not to the CCP. That is the last thing this guy will do. I'm all American. All right. So we have somebody on the panel. Oh, there he is.
Yeah, guess who's not American? He's gonna apologize for you guys again for being late. Enforcer for Xi Jinping.
Taiwan, no country.
Can't see me.
Yeah, it's called He Is Not a Real American. But we got Vinny Art on. What's up, Vinny?
What's up, brother?
Oh, wait, that wasn't John Cena?
No.
Shit.
That's how good he is.
Wow.
Like how I am with accents, he is with like doing people's voices.
Doing Asians' voices. Yeah.
Or both.
John China, he also taught Harrison Ford. You guys know that?
Yeah. I thought Harrison Ford was the Mandarin, wasn't he? I interrupted that. That was too good.
Is it weird that I could feel that picture was pointing at me, even though I couldn't see?
I felt like laser beams. Lasers. But we also got one of the McCabes on. I think it's the good one. It's Nick McCabe.
Hey there, everyone. Hope you're all doing very well.
Yeah. And I also have, above my quota, another Australian, Mr. Grant Gregory.
Oh, so we're not doing that anymore.
Yeah, no, we're done with that. Yeah.
Yeah, no, super happy to be here. Can't wait to get into this thing, find out why I'm racist for liking Percy Jackson.
We're all racist, guys. We're all racist. Yeah. You know who isn't racist? Ruben Christopher Haynes, who is a channel member once again. That happens to me a lot with a lot of channels because I suck at keeping up with it. But I always appreciate you, man. He is a little finger level. That is the highest level. You get so many benefits like watching streams late and stuff.
There's also things involved.
Other things too.
Other things, yep. Oh yeah, yes, the extra other things.
I might even do my members stream before the dump this Saturday because I liked the last one we did, and I say I do it every 2 weeks, and it's been a month, so it's about time I do it.
We can call it the double dump.
We'll call it the double dump. I like that.
Damn.
I see just another red shirt out there. I see Larry, another channel member. The lovely Sherry. We have Monkey Jeebus, Soul Assassin, as always, one of the best Sporkmotics in the game. We already said hello to Morgan. You did like that, Sporkmotics?
Mm-hmm.
I thought you felt that. Sean is in the house.
Right in my pants.
I knew it. It makes it like move. The Ginger Ninja, another artist, is here. Keely Chow always stops in to say hello. So does Makini Draws. Makini is going to be a guest on Saturday night's dump. It's been a while, so I thought and I was on his birthday stream, and I was like, okay, I guess I better invite him.
Nice.
No, he's awesome. I love Makini. Gap Stargate is here. Edwin, where could the Edwin V? Edwin might make an appearance Saturday, he said. If I'm late again. Emotionally unstable Amphibian, thank you for being a channel member. But yeah, let's get into it because it's going to be a short dump because I am going over to Latino Slants channel tonight to talk Born in East LA, and that was Now I Am Canceled.
Nice.
Bruce Springseen's best song ever. That's what it is, isn't it? Yeah.
Well, I mean, it was done better than Bruce because it was done by someone who's Latino. Is that appropriating? Did he appropriate it?
Sure.
He might have.
I don't know.
Okay. Well, all I do know is Percy Jackson. If you like Percy Jackson, you're a racist.
Makes sense.
Yeah, that's all.
Yeah, especially if you like the books and particularly how they describe the characters.
How the author.
I think I seen the first movie and that was it.
You didn't miss much. Okay, they butchered those books. And it was sad because the kid they had playing Percy was a little older than he should have been, but still was a great actor. And
that's how I imagined his hair would look.
Yeah.
I think they nailed the hair.
Yeah. And I mean, that girl who played, what's her name? I don't know. She has big eyes. That's
both of them.
Both.
It's been a while since I've seen it.
Yeah. Well, I don't even know how to say his last name. Rick Riordan admits he's a racist and calls his own fans racist over wanting accurate source material casting. Now, if you've ever seen a dump, and if you haven't, please subscribe. You're not a racist. And like, share, and comment after
Remember, when you wipe, it's front to back.
Front to back. Yes, that is smart. But what I find funny is I swear the biggest issue this guy had with the movies was the way they depicted the characters. They weren't book accurate. And now in the climate we're in today, right, Nick, we're all racist.
Yep, that's right.
Okay.
Because they've race swapped Annabeth Chase into a black woman, or a young black girl rather.
Right.
People are now kicking up a stink that she's not how she is described in the book, which is a young blonde woman. Well, young blonde girl.
Right. Yeah. I mean, because now once again they're after the Greek gods, right? They're the demigods, the children, right?
That's right. And not to mention, even though Grover, the character Grover, was race swapped in the film,
right,
from a ginger to a black guy.
Yep. Ginger.
They're sticking with the black guy.
I thought he was like
a black character. So,
is he black or is he like Asian, but more of the, I don't know if it's Pakistani or whatever. But
you're sounding very racist right now.
I'm so trying not to sound racist, but I am.
He's a blue puppet. I've seen him on Sesame Street. I know who Grover is.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we all know that the Olympians, Greek gods, they were all black.
Yeah, like the Vikings.
Right. There you go. Like the Vikings and like certain beheaded Henry VIII's wives. Like they're all black.
That was the other Boolean girl.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're being fair, the main characters are indeed only half-bloods. So one of their parents is a god, and the
other's black.
Are just they're just regular American human beings.
Okay. And they're all American, right?
It's all racist.
Yes, and that's because the what do you call it? The heart of Western society has moved from ancient Greece to America.
Ah.
Yeah.
Because wasn't it their like
All right,
portal
I
thing?
should preface this, but that I've actually read all the Percy Jackson books.
Okay.
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 Yeah.
And
We have
Zeus is black.
one expert on panel.
Yeah. So isn't their portal thing like on top of like the Empire State Building or something in the movies?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
God, they got lucky picking the right building though, didn't they?
Woof. Yeah. Can you imagine? Oh, that would have been bad. God's right there, and let that happen to New York. You guys suck. But let's read a little bit about our racism. Percy Jackson and the Olympians, novelist Rick Riordan. I'm just going to say Rick Racist, made the bizarre argument that he's a racist in order to justify calling his own fans racist for being critical of the race swap casting of Leah Jeffries in the role of Annabelle Chase for the upcoming Disney Plus series. Now, again, I am one of the biggest proponents if it messes with canon, meaning I don't mind if you race swap if it doesn't affect the story. So, I don't care if there's black dwarfs if it doesn't affect the story. Like in the new Game of Thrones prequel series, House of the Dragon, it bothers me because it affects the story. They could have made the House Hightower black, but instead they made Valerian's black, who... It's a long story. Watch any of my videos. Yeah.
And there's a paternity issue.
There's a paternity issue between like family members. So yeah.
And I gotta say that cast is hideous on top of it. Just really, it's a cast of ugly people.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, what happened? I saw part of the trailer. I'm like, oh,
yeah.
They just got uglier and uglier as the trailer went. I'm like, yeah,
they
Easter
are
Island
beautiful.
Head, Matt, what's his face?
Yeah, Matt Smith. He kind of does look like.
When were they ever known? When was that house ever known for beauty?
With the attractiveness of the cast, I often think that if a cast is too beautiful, it often takes me out of that world. Like I always say, just look at Vampire Diaries, for instance. Every cast member is hideously beautiful.
Yeah, yeah, but
you got no problem with this one then.
Yeah, the thing about it though is,
I'm all right with it.
Nick, they're supposed to be like the elves of that world almost. They're
because they're from the blood of Valeria. And everything.
Old Valeria.
They're all described in a certain way.
Yeah, gorgeous, pretty much.
Yeah, otherworldly. Yeah.
Because the thing is when they're born, they're beautiful or they come out like little dragons almost. They have scales and deformed and right, and they don't live. So there's a whole thing that goes with it. But like, I don't have an issue with them race swapping these characters because you could say, okay, the mother, like they should make them biracial then, because the mother could be black. But if it's a Greek god, they're Greek.
It's like, yeah, my grandmother was half Italian. Makes
they
sense.
Usually take after their parents. Especially with the Greek gods, and because the gods don't have DNA, they're gods.
Right.
For instance, Annabeth, she would actually look very much like her. They take after their father. Their human parent mainly.
Right. Oh, okay, so they look more like the human parent instead of the parent. Okay, so if
which doesn't make sense because you think that the god bloodline would be the stronger bloodline.
Well, and again, these are the funny things because, like, I wonder if that is something that George R. R. Martin thought about because, again, with the Valerian bloodline, anytime they sleep with somebody outside of their own Valerian blood or family, the kids automatically take on characteristics of that other group of people. So if it's Dornish, they're darker skin usually with dark hair. They might have purple eyes still, but they never just look Valerian. That's the whole thing with the race swapping that they screwed up.
Yeah, well, I mean that was the downfall of the house and everything, and the race because they were forced to interbreed with themselves.
Yeah, flipper kids and all that.
Well, they also there was a question. One of the biggest rebellions in A Song of Ice and Fire were the Blackfriars, and their problem was the Damien Blackfriar looked more like a Valerian than the actual son, Crown Prince Damien, because he was of Dornish and Valerian blood, but he looked more Dornish. So there's so many reasons why it's so important to keep those characters the right. Like a Valerian can't be a black guy with white dreadlocks. It just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. But anyways,
not even white. They're sort of
Racist.
grayish.
Totally
He
gracious.
just looks like a prematurely aged man.
Yeah. Great actor, just wrong part.
Yeah, dude,
yeah,
he's in
probably
his
no
mid
doubt.
20s. He's going through a midlife crisis. He changed his hair color.
Well, we're racist here, so let's find out. 2 days after claiming he was delighted to hear about the overwhelming positive response to casting announcement, Rick Rowland is now calling someone wrote that, calling his own fans racist while also telling fans to stop harassing Jeffries. I haven't seen any harassment of this young lady, but anyways, in a post on his website titled Leah Jeffries is Annabelle Chase, he writes, this post is specifically for those who have a problem with the casting of Leah Jeffries as Annabelle Chase. It's a shame such a post needs to be written, but they do. He first let me be clear. I am speaking here only for myself. These thoughts are mine alone. They don't include Disney, right? TV show producers, blah, blah, or Jeffrey's family. But then he said, we get down to this quote down here. The response to the casting of Leah has been overwhelmingly positive and joyous, as it should be. Leah brings so much energy and enthusiasm to the role, so much of Annabelle's strength. She will be a role model for a new generation of girls, kind of hero they want to be. But then he claims...
Because apparently they can't relate to anyone who doesn't look like them.
Absolutely not. Okay? I mean, that's what Annabelle looks like. You know, she's a blonde-haired girl, you know? But then he goes on and he says, if you have a problem with the casting, however, take it up with me. You have no one else to blame. Whatever else you take from this post, we should be able to agree that bullying and harassing a child online is inexcusably wrong. And that's another thing they do when we complain about a role because they use her age now. We're not complaining about this actress. If you are
they're throwing up all the shields.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah, this isn't an America Chavez scenario from our perspective. Like,
right.
You know, you don't go after the actor. The actor can't do anything about that. We're strong advocates. It's like, just because you are a certain skin color doesn't mean that you can't get certain roles. No one is saying anything like that.
Yeah.
But the biggest problem is they conflate any sort of criticism about the film to criticizing the person. Therefore, if you're criticizing the person, you're criticizing every aspect of their life.
Right.
Like, no one's. I've heard nothing about anyone going after it. I've heard everyone going after the producers, the author, and all that for being cool with it. No, I don't even. I've never heard anyone even mentioning anything about.
It's a lot of It's gaslighting for attention. That's what they do.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I will say this though. In defense. I know this is very odd coming from me. In defense of the race swapping, race doesn't really figure at all in
Percy Jackson.
Percy Jackson novels.
I agree with you.
Especially for someone like Annabeth. It's just not mentioned.
Right.
However, it does become a little bit of an issue later in the novels when people are specifically described. Like there's a character named Hazel who is from New Orleans. And she is definitely black.
Right.
You know? And there's another fellow who's Chinese descent. And he's got both Roman god and Greek god within him. So, but he's, like I said, Chinese. So I think what people really have an issue with is just, you know, it's like, this is your own material. This is how you described it, Mr. Riordan.
Right.
And I would have thought, especially as someone who created this, you would have a little bit more respect, a little bit more reverence for your own work.
And that's the thing right there. I love that you said that, Nick, because I agree. Like, when it doesn't affect the character, and it really doesn't, it's not the actor or making her black. It's that this author who created these characters doesn't care now, even though in his mind's eye, he created that character. And now he's blaming the fans. And
that's where I think he crosses the line. Don't start blaming the fans for wanting what you wrote. I mean, people are fans of Percy Jackson because because Riordan wrote Percy Jackson the way it was. We like it because it is what it is, not because of what it could be.
Yeah, well, it's called being a complete sellout. because
Yeah,
he's
I really do think he is.
well, yeah, he's bending over for Hollywood and their agendas, because that's what these people do now. You know, they can't just be, you know, their integrity doesn't matter for most of these creative people anymore, and that's the sad thing. And that's why a lot of these properties and stuff fell to shit, because they're all just complying.
Right. On another note, my daughter just wants to say goodnight. Say goodnight.
Oh.
And there you go.
Good night.
All right. See, I'm a father. I'm not a horrible human being.
Raiden fans, if you think Potterheads and fans of Harry Potter are completely mad, Raiden fans are completely off their nut. They are the heroin addicts of fandoms.
Wow.
Right.
They're
Look,
completely off their trolleys.
they are, and I get that. It's a beloved series.
That's a great thing. That's a passion.
Yes.
You want that in your fan base, and that's what I don't understand. Like, he could have taken the Matt
I'm
Reeves.
talking about this is like ex-Tumblr shit. They have taken the identitarian social justice stuff and just found a vein, and they've just completely injected into themselves. They are completely nuts.
Yeah. Dave, I think this guy, I can't say your name. I don't. Il Canala di David. I agree with you, man. No one should attack a kid. TikTok, take them down. If a kid's underage, take it down. You're ripping on a child. That makes me sick. What else makes me sick? Tom from Midnight's Edge. You sexy
I make you
bastard.
sick?
No, like you make me feel things. Yeah, that didn't come out the way I wanted it to. I thought it would sound better. Hi, Tom. How are you, buddy?
I have nothing to add to Percy Sledge or Hammer or whatever this thing is.
Sledgehammer. I like that. It's ridiculous.
I think, yeah.
Back in the day.
He needs to take the approach that like Matt Reeves did when it come to casting Jeffrey Wright, is that he said the fact that he's black won't affect the story. I picked him because he was the best for the role, plain and simple.
Yeah,
And that was great until they pointed out in the film that I'm not getting into that.
But what I'm saying is his attitude towards Spence. He didn't go out and attack the fans over it. He didn't get his wife to go out there. I don't know if he has a wife, to go out there and write articles and different things about how they're even more racist for not liking it. Like that's what I'm saying. There's a way of handling it, and especially if you're going to be dealing with fans that are, as Nick described them, extremely passionate.
Right.
You've got to tread water very lightly with it.
I believe you said heroin addicts.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. I know heroin. Let me read a little bit more so we can see how bad we are. As strong as Leah is, as much as we discuss the potential for this kind of reaction, the intense pressure this role will bring, the negative comments she has received online are out of line. They need to stop now. And I agree with that. This child does not deserve any of it.
Right.
I mean, it's wrong.
Especially if people are attacking her directly.
Right. And there was TikTok pages had it be taken down because all they were doing were attacking this child.
Yeah, these people are
attack
very
the casting
twisted.
choice, not the cast.
Yeah.
Yes. That's an actress who's getting a job. That's it. And it's probably one of her first gigs anyway. So it's like you're gonna attack somebody like that? What if someone goes up to them and says,
entirely unfair to her.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
If they go, oh, here's a bag of money, want to be in a movie? People are gonna take it.
Yeah,
Right.
actors gotta eat.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
Sorry, I got to say goodnight to another child.
He's got like one of those, what is it, a circus car full of children.
All right, another one wants to say goodnight. Say goodnight. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
See you, buddy. You got to go. All right. Yeah, like I couldn't imagine somebody coming after my kids on TikTok. Like grown adults need to just keep it down. This reason we're reading this article, it's because where this guy goes with it. So this is all about the TikTok and that they're changing it over and it's messed up. And I get that. But he wrote, I was quite clear a year ago when we announced our first open casting that we would be following Disney's company policy on non-discrimination. We are committed to diverse, inclusive casting for every role. Please submit qualified performers without regarding to disability, gender, race, ethnicity, blah, 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 all that stuff. We did that. The casting process was long, intense, massive, and exhaustive. He goes on, I have been clear as the author that I was looking for the best actor to inhabit and bring to life the personalities of these characters, and the physical appearance was secondary for me. We did that. Okay, that's fine to me too. she is Annabelle. I'm good with that. This kid is from the Adam Project. Funny kid. I liked him. And then the other kid.
Whoopsie, sorry, I made a.
Yeah, I thought I was
calling him black. Whoops.
Yeah, you were so wrong. Oh my God,
Dude,
you're terrible.
he's clearly Asian. That's just wrong.
So the author goes on, some of you have apparently felt offended or exasperated when your objections are called out online as racist. But I am not racist, you say. It is not racist to want an actor who is accurate to the book's description of the character. Let's examine that statement. Let us. You are upset, disappointed, frustrated, angry because a black actor has been cast to play a character who was described as white in the books. She doesn't look the way I always imagined. Now reverse that. You hired a white actress to play a black character that from a book that I've always imagined.
They love playing that double standard, don't
Yeah.
they?
Yeah.
I mean,
Coming this summer, Emma Stone is Rosa Parks.
Exactly.
There would be a protest outside their homes, the actresses' homes, the people responsible for making the movie. We know this. So they're hypocrites.
Oh, that's so funny. I'm sorry, that was Rosa Parks. But they are hypocrites.
Didn't carry it out of the woodwork again.
Oh yeah, definitely. You either are not aware or have dismissed Leah's years of hard work honing her craft, her talent, her tenacity, her focus, her screen presence. You refuse to believe her selection could have been based on merit. He argued. Without having seen her play the part, you have prejudged her prejudice and decided she must have been hired simply to fill a quota or tick a diversity box. And by the way,
didn't you say that they were basically?
Kinda, right?
We are going to adhere to Disney's diversity standards.
Yeah.
Yes, and
Wouldn't that be clicking? That's literally the definition of that. Sorry, go ahead, Nick.
Yeah, and it's not just the anti-discrimination thing. We have the same thing here in Australia. You are not allowed to, discriminate against people based on sex, gender, race, political leaning, da-da-la-la. But the thing is, companies like Disney also have that quota system where you need to hire 30% of, POC. That 30% needs to be 50% queer. And 50% of those need to be XYZ and so on and so on.
He played that. He left out that part when Tom and you are exactly right. There's a percentage that has to be met.
Yeah, there has to be a percentage met, and one of the main characters, or at least one of the characters on screen, has to be BIPOC.
Right.
Black, Indigenous, person of color.
Right.
They have to have like a lead actor or actress on scene that is either LGBTQ or this and or that. And
a transformer.
Transformer.
It's no secret they have these standards. You can actually find them somewhere.
Right.
I didn't know that's what BIPOC was. I thought that was some sort of rapper.
Yeah, I thought it was
favorite.
I thought it was a meat pie.
It's a mildly offensive acronym.
So I want to clarify: no one on this panel cares. I don't care that this young lady is in the movie. I hope she does well. It's the idea that you attack people because they're passionate about your book, and they've been reading them for how many years? These kids grew up with them. They're now young adults. Yep. And they've imagined these characters. And granted, dude, when I first saw the casting for Sean Bean as Eddard Stark in Game of Thrones, I was pissed because I love Sean Bean, but he's like blondish, and a Stark is like dark haired. Like it bothered me.
I was like, finally, a role he's going to survive in.
What were you gonna say, Vinny?
No, I was surprised that they didn't do that. They didn't at least dye his hair or something.
Right, at least do that.
He is a great actor. That was the least they could have done.
I'm sure people also had an issue with the casting of Emilia Clarke as well, because she didn't have the lavender eyes of the Targaryens.
Well, it did piss me off that she didn't wear the contacts. But then again, they explained why, because she's a wussy.
Well, no, I mean, I
the
understood
colorist
that. Not,
could have done something with her eyes.
Yeah.
Just add a little purple tinting or something.
Yeah, something.
Yeah,
I
they
mean,
do
I
that
was
in the
upset.
computer.
I was upset with that, and then I saw her in one scene, and then I was just like, "Yeah, you're
Yeah,
forgiven."
when I saw her butt that first scene, I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
we're good. Mr. Grant Gregory for an Australian $2. You can stay on the panel now, Grant. Hail to the panel that makes Raredan fans look tame. I appreciate that. That is a good one.
Everything is racist.
It
When
is.
you woke or you're LGBT, everything is racist. You're an absolute Nazi.
So Justin Proper in the house. I haven't seen you in a while, brother. Good to see you for $5. And I love what he says here too, because this bothered me. That's why I just brought that up earlier. All I care about is that the actors aren't 20 years old pretending to be middle schoolers. As a middle schooler at the time, I felt insulted. He's absolutely right. And then he goes, Justin Proper for $2. Tom Cruise as Lando Calrissian.
See, that would work. I could see that.
I love it. I love it. So we did a poll. Are you okay with the race swapping of the character? Is in Percy Jackson? No, 72%. Wow. I'm really kind of shocked by that. Yes, 18, maybe 9. That 33 people voted. That's a big number saying no. But again, if you are a fan, and also what this guy doesn't understand is every single IP for nerds has done this to us.
Mm-hmm.
Characters that we've loved, that we've imagined a certain way, or we've seen prior in different, medias, they have changed. And it's just another one to the list.
It's difficult not to suspect motives behind this because it's happened so many times. They keep saying, pardon me. They keep saying, I'm just hiring the best person for the job. Oh, so you couldn't find a 14, 15-year-old blonde girl anywhere, could you?
Right.
That's
That
a
was
good
qualified.
Yeah,
Right.
that could act.
Not in
couldn't
America.
find
They
one
don't
at all.
exist.
Not in America.
Get us an Asian, or not Asian.
But it's across the board. It's not just in films. I mean, look what they did in the comics as well. When they try to kill
Scott,
Bruce Banner.
Asians aren't white as much as they try and tell Asians aren't
Russians are, and they're Asian.
I thought
Racist.
that. I'm sorry. I was gonna say something that would sound really racist, but if I did, I'd have to shut off my camera and pull this up.
Yeah. Oh,
Didn't they say that Asians used to be yellow?
that's
Sure.
Shushy. You better apologize on that one.
Enforcer.
Yeah, but you must remember too that there is such thing as interracial whiteness.
What the hell is that?
They keep making up these new. What they want to do is change
No, I'm being
our
deadly
vocabulary.
serious. Like you could be, Black, Asian, Latino, and still be quote unquote white.
Well, again,
White adjacent. Okay.
Again,
so
they're
like
just-
what people call
Or
marked with a
politically
C.
white or whatever.
Yeah.
this is what
It's
they want to
all
do.
over the place.
It's changing the vocabulary.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. It's moving that
confuse people more.
goalpost.
Yeah, they always do this shit. It doesn't stop. But what I was saying before was even like in comics when they try to kill off Bruce Banner a few years back, what did they do? They wanted to replace him with an Asian guy, and then they made the Asian guy gay. So like they were checking off boxes.
Yeah,
They have like a list that they go down.
Yep. And again, Justin, I agree with you. If he thinks she's the best actor, I'm with you. It's the way he came at his fans that are passionate.
Yeah,
you don't have to attack. Just let it go. And
He's meant to be a good writer. At the very
Right.
least, he should have said, "Thank you, everyone, for your passionate responses. This is really good.
right.
I hear your concerns,
Right.
but in this case, I believe Leah is the best person for the job, and I reckon she's going to do an awesome job. Let's give her as much support as possible."
Yeah.
Now,
Leave it at
granted,
that.
he wrote this after he found out about the TikTok stuff, so I think he was
Yeah.
pretty pissed off. I love how he blames both sides, too. This criticisms have come from across the political spectrum, right and left, because when it comes to fandom, it doesn't matter if you're liberal or conservative, you're a psycho. We're all psychos.
Yeah.
we're psycho about our
But he
IPs.
gets, right and left.
Yeah.
Clearly, that next book ain't coming out, Scott.
Yeah. Shh.
Well, if we want to talk about being racist, can we
Wow.
talk about how MCU had the first Latino superhero and her superpowers are literally crossing borders?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I didn't think of that.
Tom, are you on your mic at home? Because it sounds like a
Sounds
live
like
cam
a
mic.
webcam
Hang
mic.
on, I might be.
Yeah, it's really, really high pitched.
But on top of that, though, that character, it gets
I'm
even
to the
worse.
regular one.
That's weird.
In the books, she was sex trafficked as well.
Yeah.
How's that?
So it's even.
Oh, that's
creepier.
better. Just quiet. Testing Tom. Sorry about the. You're good. So wait a minute.
Ground control to Major Tom.
You're absolutely right. I mean, their first Latino character, even though they had Ghost Rider in the series.
Yeah, Ronnie Reyes. He was.
Yeah,
good.
Ronnie Reyes was. I'd bring
then
him back.
Then he turned into the Terminator in the movie.
That's
and,
true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come with me if you want to live.
In the wrong Terminator. So he goes on. You have decided that I couldn't possibly mean what I have always said, that the true nature of the character lies in the personality.
Oh, Tom's gone.
Oh no. You feel I must have been coerced, brainwashed, bribed, threatened, whatever, or I, as a white male author, never would have chosen a black actor for the part of this canonically white girl. I mean,
considering he's a raging SJW himself, I wouldn't be surprised if he's trying to avoid getting cancelled, and I should say getting cancelled again, because apparently there was a whole lot of hoo-ha a couple of years ago.
So you're saying he's got some more skeletons in his closet? He's preemptively getting out in front of that to try and
Yeah, I wouldn't
shift
be
the blame away?
surprised at all. Like I said, he has drunk the Kool-Aid. He
Yeah.
and his fans, they're all loony lefties to a T.
okay.
I'm not familiar. What was the hoo-ha, and actually what is a hoo-ha?
Oh, hoo-ha.
That's located
Vagina.
between the legs.
Americans might know it as brouhaha.
Oh, a brouhaha.
Smash.
Okay,
Trouble.
gotcha on that.
I'm not really sure what the hell it was all about. It goes back a while. But there was something where the community, particularly the Raiden fans, all tried to collectively cancel him, much like people tried to cancel J.K. Rowling.
Wow.
Must have been for a comment or something, and now he seems to have respawned like a weird SJW phoenix.
I'm just gonna assume it was an Asian thing because I didn't see any Asians in that cast.
Stop.
Yeah, it makes sense now. I
That's-
I don't see any
racist.
Australians
I think
either.
there was something about representation in his books.
How do I
Yep.
sound now?
You sound 100 times better.
Oh,
10
much
times
better.
better. Don't oversell it.
Yeah, I was just about to say that, Justin. A brouhaha means where I'm. It doesn't mean where I'm from. A brouhaha, like it's a party. It's like a drunken good time.
Yeah.
And when the first one you said a hoo-ha, that's usually like a sexual, a lady's part.
Usually.
Her
Yeah.
hoo-ha.
That was
sometimes
the
get
first
my
thing that came
American
to my
slang
mind.
mixed up.
Yes.
Yes, Tom.
Tom
so-
thinking of vagina. What a shock.
He just keeps going on though. He's like,
I have to remind myself that to Americans, fanny is backside and not, front bottom.
Yeah, I've done that a number of times, and people are like, "You did what?" I went, "Oh, wait, never mind." It's
wait a minute. What's a front bottom?
Well, we
A
say
fanny is
fanny.
for a lady's part.
Yeah.
Yeah, vagina.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, here
Oh,
it's just an old lady's way of saying booty.
yeah. So if you're
Yeah.
like, oh, I hit her in the fanny, we'd be like, whoa, she's open.
Yeah, well, that's why a queef in Australia is called a fanny fart.
Yeah.
Did you just say queef, Australians? Okay, I got you now. I want to make sure you knew what you were saying. Okay.
Ozzy. Oi, oi, oi.
You refuse
My
to
man.
believe my man. Believe me, the guy who wrote the books and created these characters. Did I already read that part? We're gonna skip down to where he starts calling us racist anyways. All right, so he goes on.
Hey.
You're judging her appropriateness for this role solely and exclusively on how she looks. Well, no,
necessarily.
how you described her. Not how she looks,
Yeah,
how you
exactly.
described her.
Dude, this is how you described her.
Yeah. I hate how far he's going
She
with
has
this.
a look.
like
She has a
saying-
sound. She's got a history.
Yeah.
This is an orange. You're like, I like that orange. It's now being a banana. You're like, but it's supposed to be an orange. Like, that's racist.
Yeah,
This
exactly.
is what it's always
Yeah,
been. I'm like, dude,
exactly.
you told me it was an orange.
Well, listen to this next line, Nick. Listen to this. She is a black girl playing someone who was described in the book as white. Friends, that is racism. What?
This guy, he's got a shovel and he's
Apparently
just
not
digging that
creating
hole
black characters
deeper and deeper.
yourself.
Wait a minute. One at a time. Nick, go again.
Yeah, it is racist because apparently, you can't create any original black characters yourself.
Right. Well, he didn't. You're right. Vinny, you're right. He's digging a hole.
Yeah.
This-
This is getting worse for him because everything he's saying isn't even making sense anymore. Maybe he was in a rage when he was saying this stuff, but at the same time, it just does not make sense.
Right.
Yeah, it's called stream of consciousness writing.
I guess what I'm not going to read all this. I guess he goes on to critical race theory and stuff, and he says
all the same damn arguments. Black people oppressed, white people privilege. We should forgive black people all their and POC all their stuff just because they're oppressed. And it's like, oh my god, it's just double standards.
It is. And look, I don't give a crap. I agree with one thing. He's quoting this doctor. Everybody has perceived biases and prejudice when you meet somebody. And my buddy put it best. He was like, if a white kid walked up to you in a suit and tie and a white kid walked up to you all tatted up wearing, ratty clothes, which one are you going to trust right off? Which one are you going to be like a little nervous of, and which one you're not going to think as much of? Okay. The kid with the ratty clothes and all the tattoos probably could be the best dude in the world, but your defense mechanism as a being, as an animal, tells you there might be danger there. Okay. Right. So like he's quoting something that's completely, almost like a chemical physical response. Mm-hmm. If you grew up in I'm sorry, it's the truth. If you grew up in a white area, the first time you meet people of different colors, races, you might be a little hesitant. Not saying you're going to be like, I don't trust any of them. Well, you might be hesitant.
Let's find out. Is that true, Nick?
About yours? What?
But also like black people
accusing me of something.
Well, I had a friend who grew up around only black people, and he went to school with us. And he was like, you know what, dude, I've never met a white kid until high school. Like all the kids I went to school with were black. There were a couple white kids, but none of us talked to them. Like never realized that we would have so much in common. It's because people grow up in different areas. That's why tribes used to fight, because they were protective of their own group. Mm-hmm. So bias is something different. He's talking about something fundamental to the human nature.
But see, in that point,
my brother and I would have a bias against bogans.
What the hell's a bogan?
You leave them alone.
Oh, American equivalent is white trash.
They say that, but they're smarter.
Nah, I got you.
They're more ingenious about like what they do, and like they got creative ways of like cutting the lawn,
So
am I right, Grant?
Yeah, you're spot on. It depends. There's bogans, but then there's a subcategory. There's these things called eshays. Which is like a subculture. Think of like when the time machine, how you had like the Morlocks and all that. Think of that, but in a human form. That's an eshay.
I guess that would be the equivalent of white trash.
Jesus.
But anyway, what I was saying before,
dude, our white trash has white trash versions of white trash. So
that's also true. We've been to Walmart. What I was gonna say. So like, which the example that you made is like, and again, like kids aren't racist.
No, not at all.
What it is like, again, because I grew up in New York, it was melting pot. We had friends.
No, kids are just assholes.
Color.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, kids are assholes. But at the same time though, like if you're growing up with everybody, everyone's an equal. We don't see that kind of shit. As you get older, it's the society and the people that you're around who push that on you.
Right.
So.
Like the nurture as opposed to the nature.
Yep. The reason we picked the daycare we picked was because there was kids of all different ethnicities. They're all Americans. I'm sick and tired of us calling people something different. Everybody's American. But we had Latino, Black, Asian. Like we picked that because I grew up, I think I knew 2 black kids before I went to high school.
Well, that's the biggest fallacy right there, is like a lot of idiots try to treat like the idea that being white is like the ethnicity of them, and they're equating that with America.
Yeah,
right?
it's so stupid.
No. America is the world's melting pot, right? We are one of the few countries that does not have an ethnic background that it's built around, right? Like, we were built on the idea that bring us everybody. We need everybody. We want everybody. You want freedom from religion. You want freedom from persecution. Yeah. You want to basically come over here and have the opportunity, just like everybody else, to do everything you want.
I mean,
that's what America was all about.
Yes, sir.
Exactly.
Even from an outside perspective. Oh, sorry.
Oh no, I was just gonna make a joke anyway. Of lazy saddles. The Irish, you can keep them.
Yeah, don't get me started on that because I'm Irish as fuck. So yeah.
Yeah. But you're right. Like one of the guys from England that I can't remember who said it. One of the guys I was once talking to over in England said it best. He's like, the difference between some of our Western countries and some others is that you can't by just looking, you can't tell the racism because ethnically they all look alike. So like in Iraq, a lot of people look alike, but there's different groups.
Well, that's one of the reasons why the U.S. is one of the least racist countries in the
Exactly.
world, despite how they want to make you believe
Exactly.
what they make you want to believe.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, sorry.
Well, again, Obama, 2 terms. Yeah, we're racist here.
I am gonna put the article in the chat so you can look at it, man. But Bounding into Comics is a great source of this type of information. So please check them
everything.
out. Of everything.
Yeah, if you like your news of everything, go to them.
Yeah, but you know, Tom, you put it perfectly. Like, kids don't care if you're cool with them; they're cool with you.
Oh, yeah.
It's. I actually think it's more of like when you get older, you start perceiving the world differently.
Well,
it's not even
prejudice and racism and all that kind of shit's taught.
Well, that
right?
is
part of that comes from, you know, as a kid, we're taught from our parents to fear certain things. And then from there spawns this idea of something that's different or we don't understand or know.
Right.
The instant thing we go to is fear because of that. And it's not like it's just a natural reaction in some cases, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, like you said, if you're raised around people or if you're around the environments and the ethnicities and different cultures and races, those kind of things don't really come up, right?
Right.
Like, I mean, I've listened to conversations here and there, and sometimes I just get freaking pissy because I'm just like, why does that matter? Because one time I'm not even going to say it, but there's a couple of individuals on a podcast who happen to be black. So a bunch of people in the chat and on the podcast were asking them questions that really got me pissy because they're like asking them questions from a point of view like, well, how is this for a black person? How's that for black? Like, a hot dog probably tastes the same to a white person as it does to a black person, guys. I don't understand these questions. This is the dumbest frame of questions I've ever. And these are the kind of questions they were asking, and I'm just like, if we really got into this stupid point.
Okay, that I can agree with.
Where we're that different. We're all human, right? We all bleed the same blood. For the most part, hell, I don't even know if Grant tastes a hot dog the same way I do.
Right.
Right? You know,
or Kobayashi.
He may take the whole goddamn thing in his mouth at the same time, and I'm a chewer.
Yeah.
Once again, I apologize for sending you that video. I was just testing a theory.
I knew what I was getting into.
Look, you have a valid point. Like, there are times when there is nothing wrong asking somebody about Jane and Lorena Creel and
but
Mark.
That's more of a general kind of. And that
I ask about their community.
Exactly. And something about ethnicity or something to that effect. You wouldn't sit there and ask her, well, how does water taste to you?
Yeah.
Do blankets keep black people warm too?
Exactly. Like, and that's the kind of questioning that they were getting, and it was just like, are you fucking serious?
Now that's ridiculous.
They weren't trolling for the sake of trolling. They were being.
It was kind of trolling, but at the same time, there was some questions that it kind of stemmed from legit questions, and it was just like, okay, I get we're joking now, but at first, this is the problem, right? Like, this is the issue we have here is that people keep treating each other like we're so fucking different. And that's the problem. I mean, even like Grant and Nick are from completely different countries than me, but I'm sure a hot dog tastes just the same to them as it does to us. Now, we may put different things on the hot dog because of our cultural differences.
Right.
That's a different conversation to have.
Yeah.
Right. Now, if you ask somebody who's from another country, well, what do you guys put on pizza? That's a valid question because there's a basis for it, right?
Well, I mean, even in America, what do you put on a hot dog in Chicago is different than what you do here. You know?
Like the thing came off, and I think it was actually about hot dogs because it was like somebody had said something, well, black people don't eat that kind of stuff on hot dogs, do they? And then somebody said, well, black people don't even really eat hot dogs, do they?
What?
And then they started asking questions like that, and I'm just like, what the fuck?
That is the dumbest shit I've ever heard.
It's like, if you're American, you generally put the same shit on a hot dog that any other American would.
Southern
ketchup and mustard, or relish and mustard, or sauerkraut, or what have you. If it's a brat, whatever. Maybe some onions. Some people do. You know, like other than that, it's just pretty typical.
Yeah, I don't get that. Weird Al Yankovic one. Are you thinking about that? I guess we're gonna.
Someone mentioned it in the chat earlier
about
if we were doing it, so I put it in there, and apparently people were interested in. It's only a short one from memory.
Right? No, it's Daniel Radcliffe. I'm kind of liking him as an actor, dude. Like him playing Weird Al Yankovic rocks.
I've yet to see.
Well, you have to give it to him. He does choose pretty out there roles.
Quirky roles.
Yeah.
Can you bring that
he's
up?
no Paul Dano with his roles, but yeah, definitely.
No.
All right,
Oh,
I'll grab the trailer.
Yeah, you grab it while I read. Eric K for $5. Thank you, Eric. Thank you for being a member. Thank you for being Sporkmotic. And thank you to the 35 people watching right now. Please hit like, share this out so other people can watch it, and comment after the stream is over. It really does help. Tom, everyone knows hot dogs down under are made out of kangaroo. They do not taste the same.
No,
If you ever had a kangaroo,
well, I'm sure they got tougher buttholes.
No. Ooh, yeah. Chewier.
Okay, I don't understand.
You ever
that
seen
reference.
a cow's bunghole? It like kind of hangs there. I'm sure a kangaroo's got a.
What were you doing to the cows, Tom?
Yes.
Where do you think hot dogs come from, Grant?
I don't know. I thought that I saw
Pork?
something from
Asshole
from Asian
lips.
people.
I thought Armour hot dogs made all hot dogs.
Well, you have all beef hot dogs, then you have the ones that are mixed with beef and pork.
We can't all afford Hebrew National
Yeah, I know. It's up there. Sorry, Grant.
or ball.
We don't even have that here.
All fancy
Hebrew
Or bison.
Your bison.
Those things are like $15 a package or something.
Yeah, my wife just bought like 3 pounds of Wagyu beef for $16. I was like, honey, we better cook it now because no way that stuff is still good.
Yeah,
you know?
for that price, I mean, you wouldn't even get chuck steak at that
Yeah.
price. So.
Lovely Sherry, I love you, but this is a
How much was it?
non-pineapple pizza place. $16 for 3 pounds.
That's how much is it normally?
Wagyu?
About 120.
No,
Hey.
but the type of ground Wagyu you get around here is usually probably closer to like 28 for 3 pounds, 29.
I was gonna say because where I'm from though, beef prices are pretty low.
Yeah, because you guys like ride
Well,
'em.
Australia, aren't you guys? It's like an arm and a leg for like meat that's about to rot the next day.
Yeah, our meat's pretty expensive because all the meat that we produce, we don't give it to anyone in Australia. We just ship it international.
I was just about to say, Australian beef is cheaper here than probably
Than in
for you
Australia.
guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know
Yeah.
the whole Angus beef craze came from Australia, right?
Oh no, I didn't.
Pretty sure,
Yeah.
if I remember right.
No
Well,
shit.
we have the most Angus cows in the world.
That was the whole
Also-
reason why they tried
and
to play
sheep.
them up like they were so much better, even though they're all the same fucking.
I thought they were Irish cows or Scottish. Angus sounds like.
but the whole thing was they had like an abundance of them, and then because we were importing so much beef from them, they had the beef council like made this big, huge like fucking push behind the Angus thing.
Well,
Right.
it was mainly the black Angus.
Yeah, the black Angus. Yes.
Oh, it's got to be black.
Remember, like they had the black Angus burger at like Burger
dude.
King and all that shit. Yeah,
All right. When they first did it, it was fantastic. Then they pulled it off the menu. They brought it back a few years later, and it was this thin little piece of shit meat that was super salty. They're like,
That's how they
this
get
is
you.
disgusting.
Yeah,
When they
it's
first had
it's supposed to be
it was
about a
a
third of a
Tuesday
pound. Yeah, a third of a pound is a good size for an Angus patty.
Yeah, I don't know. True. I mean, it is called Wagyu. I don't know how they could use it without it actually coming from,
What
that.
they do is they get the normal meat, and what they do is they add Wagyu fat into it, the offcuts into it, so then they can call it Wagyu mince.
Okay, is that
or ground beef? Yeah, that's all it is.
I'm gonna
It's
have to
the
read
actual-
it now.
It's the fat. The fat is absolutely delicious.
Right.
That's
That's like the pink.
That's what it is.
That's the pink shit they put into ground beef. It's called like pink goo or
No.
some shit.
No, that's something
No,
completely different.
That's
Is
cartilage
it?
and offcuts and.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
you
they're
know,
not
the
even allowed to
devil's
use
meat.
that shit anymore in most places. That technically was the type of shit getting us back to the original part of this conversation.
Yeah.
That was actually technically the shit they used to make hot dogs.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, it's
And
just
that's why black people didn't eat them.
exactly.
Is that what we were saying? Yeah, I can't remember.
Did
And we're all
anybody
racist.
watch the Cobra Kai season 5? Is it a trailer or just
Yeah,
a date
just a
announcement?
trailer.
It is a trailer of new footage.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
I
nice.
freaking love that show. You know what? While we're still waiting on Grant to get he got it. All right, let's watch this. This
This
is
is like 2 weeks ago.
I know we were supposed to play it like 2 weeks ago.
Oops.
Hope you guys are ready for this. Like a surgeon, cutting for the very first time.
He's not singing, is
Like
he?
a surgeon.
No, that's definitely Weird Al's voice singing. That'd probably be a weird mix, like what they did with Walk the
Anyone
Line.
got an accordion?
Like a surgeon. Hey! Cutting for the very
What can I say? I'm full of surprises.
I can hear your heartbeat.
I love Weird Al. I love Weird.
That's just strange because then like their height difference is like 3 feet.
Yeah, I met Weird Al Yankovic once. He was walking down the south side of Pittsburgh in a Spider-Man costume. Like a skin-tight Spider-Man
And he
suit.
probably got really offended because you screamed out, "Hey, it's Weird Al Yankovic."
I did. I didn't say Weird
It's
Al. I was like,
Yankovic.
well, I know, and I did say Vitch, but I was like, Al, it's
You
Weird
son
Al.
of a bitch.
Yeah, and he was just like, you just waved me off.
Yeah, he's like, "Yeah, you're one of those guys.
Yeah, I was totally that
You
guy.
got my name wrong. Fuck you. You're not a fan."
He's a dick. But he has the greatest breakup song of all time. It's called One More Minute with You. Oh, dude, best breakup song ever. Ever. Stick bamboo shoots under my nail. Like he just says the best shit in there. And it's an original Yankovic.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm not so sold on Harry Potter playing Weird Al.
We'll have to see.
And Weird Al was never in that kind of shape.
Well,
Yeah,
this
no.
is the thing. I have a
You
feeling. it's
saw him on stage. He was built like a brick shithouse. He's as buff as anything. And I'm like, I don't think Weird Al looked like that. That's more like,
That's
Yeah,
part of the
it's-
reason why I think my theory is true about the movie when they have stuff like that in there, because, and that and him, obviously, they're trying to hint that he did something with Madonna or something in that one scene. I think it's going to be like one of those situations where Weird Al's telling his story.
Fantasy,
himself,
yeah.
and it'll start out and he'll be like, okay, we need an actor. And then like some actor will come in who looks just like him and they'll be like, no, that's too geeky.
Right.
And then they'll bring in like fucking Brad Pitt or somebody like that.
Carrot Top.
I like that, but too sexy.
Carrot
and then
Top is way more jacked.
And then they'll bring him in and he'll be like, Harry Potter, yeah, I can work with that. Or something like that. And then and he'll probably try to make everything more elaborate than it really is.
I feel like it's going to be like the unreliable narrator. It's going to be like the Joker, like the Joker kind of telling his own story.
And the reason I say that is because honestly, Weird Al's story doesn't really lend itself to movie making story. Like it's not like the Elton John story or the Queen story. Like there's a joke in the VH1 behind the music of his where like they're literally like, it's like, coming up next, tragedy struck. My second album didn't sell nearly as much as my first album.
Yeah.
It was like, just like he had literally nothing that really went bad for him.
Yeah.
I mean,
because he started out making tapes for like
Dr. Demento and shit.
Yeah,
like
Dr.
that.
Demento, dude.
I mean, the worst thing that ever happened to him is he lost both his parents at the same time, sadly, because they died of a carbon monoxide poisoning when he was on the road. But that was like, 10, 15 years ago. So like, I mean, this is obviously going to cover most of the early parts of his life.
Yeah.
It's, if anybody's ever seen The Complete Al, it was a parody documentary he made back in the day. I have a feeling that this is going to follow a lot of that kind of.
No, I've never seen that.
It's just, they had a movie called The Complete Beatles that came out.
Yeah.
Way back when, and he just did his own parody version of it.
I freaking love him,
Al.
man.
Oh, nice.
He is so brilliant.
It was more or less an excuse to cram a bunch of his music videos in between just jokey skits, but yeah.
That's
I mean, his story's pretty cool. I mean, his first thing he recorded was in a bathroom slapping his leg. Like, I mean, he's intuitive, and that was the thing that I liked about it. Like, I mean, that there's stuff with that, but then as soon as he becomes, I mean, he was never like hyper rich. He was very well off, but like it wasn't like he was living the ultimate high life. And
that's
believe it or not, he's only worth like $30 million.
Which it blows my mind, dude, for how many albums he has sold and how many hits he's had. I mean, does he have to pay royalties to the original artist?
No, he just needs permission if he wants to use a film clip, because Eminem refused to let him do a film clip for his Lose Yourself one.
Well, he has to pay the standard royalties like if he's doing a cover song.
I know Coolio wanted to kick his ass.
Well, that's why that whole thing is a bunch of horseshit, because Weird Al always makes sure he
asks, right?
His are crossed, his dots, his eyes are because he asked Prince and Paul McCartney several times, and both said no. And he respected that.
Yeah.
In fact, Paul McCartney said, no, you can't record it on an album, but you can do it live. So the song that he does live, which is Chicken Pot Pie from Live and Let Die.
Oh my God,
that's the
man.
only way you can hear that song. And the only reson Paul said no is because Paul's a vegetarian.
Ah.
And Weird Al's like, well, that's weird because I am too, but I'm
He's
known
such a-
for food songs, so
Fucking Paul McCartney. Stop being a tool.
I heard that Lady Gaga was the other one he had trouble with as well.
I think that one was just because he had a hard time getting a hold of her, maybe. But because I heard he was getting some interference from her people, and then as soon as he got a hold of her directly, she was freaking out because she was a fan or whatever, and she's like,
okay,
absolutely. I don't know unless there's a different version of the story. That's the one
I'm not sure. Maybe it could have just been the video then, because they said the video they're not really allowed to play anywhere. I think they could do it on YouTube or something, but there's no money involved.
There might be something with that, because is that the one where they put his head on her face or something like that?
Something, there's a dancer, and
or something like that. That's the reason
body.
why. Yeah. That's just because of the video. Yeah.
That's crazy, man. That's crazy. So I have to definitely bring up Amber Heard and Johnny Depp to try to get the views. So Amber Heard and Johnny Depp, they're on trial.
They're fleeing poo at each other like monkeys.
Oh man, I hate her though. I'm sorry. She really does bother me. I have to show you this. I got to show you this. Is this the one?
I know Shelly's only 30 million eye roll. I know that doesn't. It sounds like a lot, but
not for somebody
who's been in the music industry for 40 years.
I mean, 5
Grammys. You ask anyone in the music industry if they know who he is, and they'll all know who he is. He's that big of a name. Just he got screwed over in his second or third album that he did, where he only made 4% of the actual money or something like that.
That sucks, dude.
Yeah.
There you go.
I love Weird Al. I've always liked him. I've always bought his cassettes. He was just really good. It was probably I stopped buying his stuff after that Amish Paradise time, just because I started doing a lot of drugs. Here we go. Check this out. This is a recording.
It's been pretty sporadic since then too, though.
Yeah, that too. So we got this is from Twitter. Let me give the person props. MBA. Okay.
MMBA.
Yeah, MMBA is saying I'm going to put makeup on and take pictures. So this is supposedly Amber Heard telling Johnny how she was going to fake pictures about him beating him with the fat lip and stuff. So here we go.
Cooperation between people hearing us, or cooperation of next day, Whitney sending text message to Kevin, him responding, or the kind of stuff between me and people in your life. It is insanely cross collaborated. Then it is a plan. I'm going to put makeup on myself and take pictures throughout years and just sit on it for years. While having this imaginary life run parallel to it. Do you understand that the pictures I have match with text messages to my mom back and forth about it, and text messages between, say, Raquel and my mom, or Raquel and my dad, or between my two. Between people.
Yeah, it goes on. She is. If
Who
this
was
is
she talking to, and when was this? What's the context of it?
The context is she's actually talking to Johnny, and she's explaining to him she can destroy. She didn't realize he was probably recording her. She could destroy him because she has been doing this, setting up text messages saying Johnny hurt me, Johnny did this, and then making sure to doctor herself up and take pictures that are time stamped around the same time she's telling people about this stuff.
Does anybody remember, didn't they get in trouble for trying to tamper with some of the, what do you call it, the metadata or whatever on some of the pictures or one of the videos or some shit like that?
Yeah, there is one picture that they said she took in December of 2015, and right behind it the calendar says January 2015, and when they brought it to court, they actually even darkened the photos so the bruises looked worse.
Okay.
And that Umbrella guy brings that stuff up all the coverage some of these guys are doing is really
well. And we
crazy.
talked a little bit about it this morning because I guess she's been expressing how she's upset that nobody believes her and that people are watching the case and all that business. And it's
yeah, because she's a shithead.
She's the victim.
Yeah, I'm gonna voice recordings. I'm gonna look that up.
People are harassing and bullying her.
Rightly so.
Rightly so.
Thought she was supposed to be staying offline, but yeah.
Right. Didn't she make a TikTok video?
Well, yeah, not only I'm not so sure if I don't know if her and Johnny are not supposed to be talking about it or out there talking about, but I know like even like people that are involved with the case outside of that, like witnesses and all that, are not allowed because they even struck that one witness's testimony from the record and shit because she had admitted to watching some videos from the earlier days testimony.
Okay.
And they dismissed her right then and there.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, that was one of Depp's high school lifelong friends.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly. Yeah.
Oh,
That's
it's
crazy.
It's a female that's known him forever. Get rid of her.
Yep.
Right.
Oh yeah, and I believe it was brought up by of course, Amber's side, but yeah.
Of course. Yeah, I just there's so much
hearsay.
going on. Say it again.
I said that's hearsay.
No,
That's
she
hearsay.
admitted to it. That was the problem. And not only that, she was probably afraid if they really wanted to like call her computer or phone into evidence or some stupid bullshit. And I don't even know if they have that ability, but you know. The thing is this is such a prevalent fucking case. This is more prevalent than the O.J. Simpson trial because that was basically confined to television and newspapers. Like the internet was around when the O.J. trial happened, but it was like when we say in its infancy, it was barely crawling.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, it was
No
you
way
didn't have
was it
anything.
used. Yeah, like it is today. Forget it, man.
The most we had on the internet, kids, was the Space Jam website. That was
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. I mean, I gotta say though, this trial has taken like it's a thing of its own now. It's pop culture for now on. Like people will always remember this trial as one of the big like what the frig are we like? Why are they wasting taxpayers' money? Like it's a lot of just
Because
he said, she said.
It's a distraction. That's why they're making such a big deal out of this.
That's a good point.
Part of it true, probably. But
Yeah.
I think another part of it is I think we're looking at it from one perspective, but at the other side of this,
Mhm.
at least this is my opinion, and is that I think that the Me Too movement is on trial here at the same time.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, because that shit the bed as well when they found out.
Literally.
The one who started the Me Too movement, she got busted.
That's awesome.
You're right. Like a large portion of these ladies who were a big part of the Me Too movement have been pulled down one by one by their own stupidity. And Amber's another one of them. She may not be one of the original pillars, but she was a big one. She was out there.
Oh,
with the
she was there pretty
ACLU, and
early, man.
She was out there talking about a lot of shit. We had the whole reason they're in this right now is because of the op-ed that she put out.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, and that was right there in the middle of all this shit. So
Yeah.
and that's really the problem she has on her case right now is it's tough for Johnny to prove that that's the specific reason that he lost these jobs because, you know, I think Jerry Bruckheimer and some other people have, I don't know how they can do it, but they said they won't testify.
Yeah.
But like, it's pretty clear. Like that one agent said, it was like an unspoken thing, but we all knew why this was happening. It was just kind of like, it's just the way things work in Hollywood. You don't always necessarily bring up the specific reasons, but it's pretty fucking obvious.
Right.
You know, it's like,
well, I mean, and they've all also like brought so many other people into it. I mean, like think about the ACLU. Like they have such a black eye. Like they literally she gave them money or said she would give them money. They gave her.
There's all that too. Yeah.
Yeah. They gave her an ambassadorship. Ugh, I can't even say the word.
Ambassadorship. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. And an op-ed they wrote for her. Like the op-ed
she
that
fucked
this is all
herself
about.
her first 2 seconds on the stand when she said, "I'm here because of I'm being sued for an op-ed I wrote."
Yeah. Yeah. Freaking nuts, man.
Her first, okay, I'll be honest with her. Her
Oh my
first
God.
day on the stand, she did pretty good.
Uh-huh.
I'll be honest with you. We may not have believed her because we know the bullshit. We've seen through the bullshit. But you guys got to remember, there's a lot of the people that are seeing this that don't know about all the tapes, that don't know about all the other evidence that's out there yet,
Mhm.
because it hasn't been presented yet in this case. And they don't know all sides of the story because Johnny's, what he can do in this case is a very thin line of things he can do. And that's why the last couple days of this testimony with her was a big deal, because she brought some things into this case now that his team can use. Because prior to that, Kate Moss, they couldn't talk about, she brought her up.
Right.
There's these other events now that she's talking about where there's supposedly all these other witnesses. She brought them up.
Right.
So now these things are into play that before they couldn't be. And that's why her lawyers were really trying to bang home that idea that this is only about the op-ed. Right. Because that means anything outside of that purview, Johnny can't bring into the case. But she fucked up. And you even had a fist pump from his fucking side of the team when she brought up Kate Moss. That was
what a moronic thing.
That second day was horrible for her. She came in, she amped it up. She wore that. Yeah, the first day she did pretty good.
Yeah, but her dog stood on a bee.
Like, I mean, she had a lot of people kind of going, well, maybe she's telling the truth. Maybe, you know, a lot of people who aren't, like I said, aware of a lot of the other stuff. And I could see where some people could be bamboozled by her. But this second day, she come in wearing this cat lady fucking sweater.
Yeah.
And she's doing the through the whole fucking thing. Yeah. And literally, like, Johnny beat the shit out of me this day. And then 3 days later, Johnny beat the shit out of me again. Yeah. And then 3 days later, he slammed me and choked me up against the wall and beat the shit out of me again. Then he threatened to break this lady's wrist. Then he threatened to break this lady's wrist. It's like, are you fucking serious? Do you think somebody who acts that way could really get away with this?
Right.
In this day and age? I don't give a fuck who they are.
Well,
the best part of that was I caught part of that when she was saying that stuff and she messed up her line. You could see, like, she looked over to someone like, "Can I do a second take?" Like, you could see it.
Well, she was
and
looking
she tried so hard.
I think, yeah. But,
yeah, she couldn't.
Sorry.
Yeah, she couldn't muster up any tears at all. I think they tried to put some garlic or something in her hand.
The second day, she really pushed for the tears because I think she got to squirt out a couple in that day, but it didn't matter because the day that it would have mattered was the first day. And that's the thing is, a lot of people were noticing that she wasn't crying when she was doing all the stuff, you know, and you know that she's an actress.
Not very good.
Bad one at that.
Yeah.
Well,
that's
real
what
quick,
she was bitching about was people were giving her shit.
We're gonna listen to what CBS thinks is the 10 most must-see moments, but also Latino Slants in the chat, and I'm gonna be over there in about 20 minutes. We're going to be talking a little.
I'm try and hop in for a bit.
Dude, that'd be awesome because
he wants you to apparently eat LA.
Yeah, I'm going to eat LA. Man, that movie now, seeing it in today's eyes compared to when I was younger, it's a completely different movie. But it was fun to rewatch that today, so I can't wait to go over there. So, Paulie, if you could throw the link in, I don't know, are you a mod? Yeah, you're a mod. Throw your link in the stream so we can people can come over after we're done here. But let's watch this. Let's see what they think is the 10 worst moments. I know the volume is up. Okay, Amber.
Did you share audio?
The bedroom. We were in the bedroom this whole time, but up against the wall of the cabin, and slams me up by my neck and holds me there for a second and tells me that he could kill me.
You know how hard it is to hold someone's weight up one-handed, especially right by the neck?
Johnny ain't that strong. I'm sorry,
dude. It's not like he's restraining her arms at all either, and she ain't afraid to swing at him.
No, we know that. We know that.
Exactly.
It's an embarrassment. I was embarrassing. It was embarrassment. This whole thing was a joke. It was all embarrassment. I made him feel sick. And I'll never forget.
No, you probably said you were the embarrassment.
Yeah, definitely. That's why I actually thought that's what she meant.
No, she's twisting things. You could probably tell. Like, that's how she's managing to do this. And that's where I think the first day she kind of had some people bamboozled, is she's mixing things that probably really did happen in with other things. And you guys, who here has seen Drowning Mona? I know you have, Scott.
Oh, yeah.
The ovary scene, right? Like,
yes.
That's what I'm reminded of. Like, it's all take stuff taken just kind of like, just twisted a little slightly from reality.
Exactly.
You've got to have a little bit of truth in when you're lying so you can believe part of it yourself.
You said ovaries?
Yeah.
Dude, you got to watch that movie.
With as high as the two of them were throughout their whole marriage, like, you know, like he's confused. He's like, I don't know. I don't really remember. Maybe. I don't know.
Nah. It was, I mean, the guy, he was.
Yeah, he threatened to cut my ovaries out.
Ovaries?
And I also didn't realize how much of an eidetic memory Amber Heard has either. Which is pretty interesting, yeah.
Even being on mushrooms. Okay, here we go.
I'm very, very, very much in love with this whole family now. And he's saying I'm embarrassing to him. And that somehow stuck in me more than the I could kill you. It just sounded like hyperbole. It sounded like something he was just...
She is just playing to
That's a very
the
clever
jury,
way of saying
dude.
that, though.
Yeah.
Because it's like, well, he says it all the time. So when he says he's going to kill me, I don't take it as that.
Right.
But this was really bad because this was
Right.
new.
Even though his sister,
that's clever. I didn't actually see this clip. That's
right.
She's good.
That's what I'm saying. She did some good performance this first day. I know we see through a lot of it, but like a lot of people forget that we know a lot of this stuff, right? Like,
yeah. All right, let's watch a little bit more. Here we go.
Saying, but the names that he was calling me, well, kind of just pushing me up against the wall by my neck. You know, it hurt my feelings. It hurt. Whitney, my sister.
Is anyone else getting the impression that she's almost? I don't know. For some reason, I just got a flash, and it's like, you know how people kind of monologue in movies.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
it's funny you mentioned that.
For some reason, I just get the sense that she's in a CW drama talking to her best friend who's sitting right next to her.
What about a movie
really
like
saying all
Talented
this stuff
Mr.
with
Ripley or
feeling.
something?
Oh, maybe.
Or Gone Girl, or what was that
Well, I
other
mean,
show?
she
That
dresses
was
like
I don't know. I just get the very real impression that she's acting.
You know,
Yeah, did you see that,
she's
Nick?
ripping stuff
This
off.
doesn't sound at all conversational or or natural. There's a little bit. I don't know.
Here's the giveaway. So like every time
Maybe
you see
maybe I'm sensing something. I don't know.
Well, no, you're right. Because listen, the giveaway is like when you saw Johnny on the stand, right? Everything that came out of his mouth, like he was even cracking these kind of jokes out of nowhere because it's like it sounds preposterous. So he just was like, he's just being himself. Here you could see that it's been rehearsed, it's been staged, and then she's trying to remember specific words.
Yeah, like there's just something off about it, and I'm getting real, CW Batwoman vibes.
Yeah.
Well,
here's
Nick,
the thing.
did you see?
She's ripping off everyone else's things. By the end of the trial, she's literally going to stand up and go, "You can't handle the truth." I guarantee. That's
Probably.
She's stealing.
Well, and you
She
guys are
gets
joking around, and I know Grant probably knows this too, and that's why I'm bringing it up. There's people that have noticed she's literally lifting lines from things like The Talented Mr. Ripley.
Oh yeah, that was
why I
line
brought
for
it up.
line almost.
Shit from Gone Girl and some other movies and TV shows that are almost line for fucking line.
Of course. I think every time she got up out of the stand, the judge looked over to make sure there was nothing left on the chair.
Yep.
Well, exactly. Like, I mean, her opening on day 3 was the best of times, it was the worst of times.
Which way did they go, George? E. Clay Thomason for 99 cents. He sends what Amber did on the bed. Yeah. She is a terrible actress. Thank you, E. Clay.
When is she going to do Fiddler on the Roof?
All of a sudden,
I
herself.
wouldn't say that she's a terrible actress. It's just I just feel like she's acting.
She is, and she's
feel like
looking
I just sense it,
directly. Well, Nick, she's looking directly at the jury. She's performing to them.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I mean,
it's
Johnny
there's a
was doing the
camera
same
set
thing,
up
though.
and
Like,
she's
it's
doing it for the camera.
I don't know. Johnny just didn't even seem like he knew where he was half
No,
of it.
he's just better at it. That's the difference.
Yeah,
He doesn't, so it's naturally. That's the difference. He's still placating as much as she's. He's just way better at it.
Yeah.
They're both
better at
placating
improv.
to the jury.
Yeah. All right, here we go.
In between Johnny and I, she just threw herself like in the line of fire.
Oh, this is the one we
whatever.
proved
She just
wrong.
all of a sudden was there and was trying to get Johnny to stop. Her back was to the staircase. And
How could she jump in between you guys, but her back is against the staircase? If she jumped in, then you are falling down the staircase. Are
Or
you
you're
down
pushing
one?
or you're pushing your sister down the staircase.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
Or she sucker punched him.
Yeah,
It'd be
like,
really fascinating to see someone break down her body language because
oh, there was somebody doing that.
one thing that I think I heard about was that apparently when you're telling the truth, your body sings with your words. Like everything just matches up. All the little gestures, all the little facial twitches, everything matches what you're saying. But to someone who is lying, it's almost like their body is out of sync.
Right.
And you're like a malfunctioning robot. Like they can be giving it all
And
that.
she's scattered, right?
Yeah,
she's
and
very
it's
scattered. She doesn't have like a succinct, like if you do something, right? Like ask me what I did this morning. Well, I got up, I got out of bed, I went downstairs. I let Sadie outside. I gave her food. I gave her water. I went to the bathroom.
Johnny bent you over, then he threw you face first into something else, but then your back. No, wait. Then your shoe was in the air.
Exactly.
No, wait. There was a Velociraptor. No, wait. Well, we're watching TV. No, it was a radio play. No, yeah. Hearsay.
Yeah, this was
I object.
This was the performance I was talking about, where she even looks over to her lawyers like, "Oh wait, can I get a second take?"
And I get it. Women talk differently than men, right? Like women speak from more of an emotional place.
Yeah.
Just in general.
Sexist.
Like, now, what I just said, that's the way a man would answer if you asked, "What did you do this morning?"
And I bet
this
your
is
hot
how a
dogs
woman
taste
would
different
answer
to him as well.
This is true.
And of course, this is just generalizing.
If a woman answered that question, "What did you do this morning?" I got up out of bed and I was just feeling like I just didn't sleep for shit.
Yeah.
And I eventually got up and I looked at myself and I'm like, "Oh my God, how am I going to put myself together today?"
Yep.
And I didn't want to think of it anymore. And the dog just had to go outside right now, even though I was in the middle of a crisis. My hair was a mess and I was feeling totally out of step. Yeah, it just,
That's even a clear timeline.
Sorry, I was having flashbacks to my ex-wife.
Oh God. We are 57 likes. Please hit that like button, guys. 42 of you out there. I really
knows
appreciate
what I'm
it.
talking about. He's like, I got up, I walked the dog, killed 6 hookers, had a drink of orange juice, refueled my nuclear reactor.
Took a nap. Shit. Yeah. All right. Let's see. But she did say she jumped in between the line of fire, but yet her sister's back was to the staircase.
Yeah, that's what it is. The details.
Was this? Sorry, I'm a little bit confused. Is she still being pinned to the wall? By
No, different. This is number 2.
Now look at her hair, because each time that she says something different, her hair changes.
Yeah.
So.
Sorry, barely noticed.
At her, and I just see my little sister with her back her back to the staircase, and Johnny
how's that possible?
Swings at her, and I don't even wait for any other. I don't hesitate. I don't wait. I just in my head instantly think of Kate Moss and the stairs, and I swung at him.
Yep.
In all of my relationship to date with Johnny, I hadn't landed a blow.
But I
but I blew everybody else.
No. Do you notice the language she used? It's very specific. I never landed a blow. Not that I never swung at him or I never threw anything. I never landed a blow.
Yeah.
Now look how because Vinny was just bringing this up too. Notice how her telling of this is now all of a sudden shifted. This is what I was talking about.
Yes.
She went from all this like things were all sporadic and I don't know what was happening. And I get that some things can be chaotic, but she wasn't even sure of where she was at in the story. Now all of a sudden she's getting to specific places. This I believe actually happened. I believe she actually did take a fucking swing at Johnny.
Exactly.
And like she just said, I never hit him before. This time I fucking did.
Yeah.
The first time.
You're so right, dude.
Like actually hit him square in the face.
Felt good.
And also remember, she doesn't believe what she does before to him is considered hitting. When she punched him, she's like, that wasn't a punch. I never punched you. So we don't even know what her definition of hit is.
Right. Slap.
They still need to ask Jason Momoa when she smashed a glass into his face on the set of Aquaman 2.
Yeah,
but
allegedly,
dude, that wasn't a punch.
Right. I love this one. I love this one.
Ooh, a cavity search. He said he was looking for his drugs, his cocaine, his coke.
It's just a Tuesday.
I know.
I was wondering how somebody who didn't do cocaine and was against it.
Yeah. Okay.
That was in and of itself causing problems in our relationship. How could I hide? Why would I hide his drugs from like?
Because so if drugs were, but
you go. Sorry.
No, I'm sorry. I was gonna say, but she's like, I never did the cocaine. Cocaine always caused a problem in our relationship. So a lot of the times when you're in that type of thing, they do try to hide the stuff. They'll dump it on you. They'll get rid of it. I could talk from experience. She's like, why would I even take it? Like, okay, so you're just going to let him snort that much coke and it's never like, you don't even give a shit.
Which is funny because a lot of her stories, like she's really completely out of it. And that's another reason why I'm saying why her memories are so fucking clouded.
Yeah.
And because she's supposedly on just as many drugs, if not more than he is anyway, too. Plus she's on medications on top of it all.
Yeah.
And people are asking about Kate Moss. The significance of Kate Moss is she is one of Johnny's exes.
Yep.
And there was a famous story that supposedly he pushed her down the stairs, and that's not true.
It's not true.
So now that she has mentioned her and that specific thing, his lawyers can bring it in.
Yep.
Good.
Yep.
Because the worst that happened, from what I remember, was he tore apart hotel rooms. Like he said, he's never laid a hand on a female.
And that has been corroborated by all of his exes
Yes.
that have come out.
Jennifer Grey just talked about it. You know, like the distance.
Winona Ryder. And
Yeah,
all the rest of
yeah.
them all said he's never laid a hand on me. He's most gentle. He's the most, yeah.
But he sometimes gets rowdy when he's away, when he's on location,
Well,
when he's.
and I can't speak for most men, but most men I've known in my life, myself included, if a guy is rowdy and loud and will flip a chair or bust a door down or something like that, or not bust a door down, but like punch a door or something like that, chances are he's not going to hit a person because he's taking out that aggression on something else.
Right.
You need to worry about the quiet motherfucker who blows up in private at you. And that's the thing, is none of these events seem to be happening in complete privacy. And that's another thing that I don't understand, because there's always, Johnny's people around, her people around. And it's like, where are these witnesses to all this shit?
Yeah. It's never anybody that, I mean, did her sister, I think her sister hates her guts, doesn't she? Like, could she tell us the story?
This woman.
No. I got to get going soon, so I just want to play a little bit more of this.
I was doing it or something. It made no sense. And he was telling me we're gonna conduct a cavity search.
I can hear Johnny say it just like that. We're going to conduct a cavity search.
Yeah.
Like, just shoved his fingers inside me.
Okay.
Your husband stuck his fingers inside of you.
Just stood there staring at the stupid light. I didn't know what to do. I just stood there. He got next to my ear and he was screaming over and over and over again. Each time it sounded louder and more desperate. I hate you. I hate you.
I don't doubt him doing that.
Hate you.
We all do that.
Hate you.
About her specifically.
Pounding the back of my head, pounding it with his fist. And I don't even remember feeling pain. I just could hear myself scream until I couldn't hear myself anymore.
Because his other hand was doing the cavity search.
Yeah,
I've been punched in the head a number of times.
I
remember the pain.
Kill me. And that he sounded like an animal in pain when he was saying that he hated me.
I'm sorry.
Like he was almost crying.
This is the most unbelievable one, because I'll tell you right now. Part of my face right here is paralyzed from getting sucker punched and somebody breaking my optical orbital fucking thing around my eye, the area around my eye.
Was it her?
Yes. And so like I can't feel that whole part of my face now. I'm reminded of that every fucking day. That was one punch.
Damn.
One.
Yeah.
One punch. Johnny may not be a huge guy, but she's not a big woman either. And I'm sorry, somebody's hitting you once, twice, 3 times. You're knocked the fuck out at that point.
The back of the
head, no less.
Kill somebody that way.
Dude, there was a guy in New Zealand. He was a professional fighter. He knew how to take a punch and everything. He got hit in the back of the head by a bloke that was half his size, and it killed him.
Yeah.
It's the reason why in Australia we call them coward punches, because they are deadly. Like, and the fact that he's repeatedly hitting him when he's in the height of his anger.
Well, not only that, it's the most vulnerable part between the neck and the head, and it's also one of the reasons why when you hit your head like in the back that you get concussions more often.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Guys, I got to get going. I got to go to Paulie's. It starts in like 3 minutes.
Yeah, no problem. I got to get there too.
Yeah. So we could either finish it now or you could just finish it. Grant, I'm fine with that. It's up to you.
I've also got to head off
already,
so yeah.
So it's going to take too long. I got to go over there. Guys, we will actually we'll finish it. We're going to do
We'll
this
pick this
again
up on Saturday.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm thinking too. We'll pick this up on Saturday. Come back and see Amber Heard and some of her best acting.
Did you get E-Clay's super chat?
Oh yeah, it was the
super sticker.
Super sticker. We got that. Thank you to everybody who came out tonight, guys. Thank you to the panel. Vinny, thanks for coming. Vinny's gonna have actually. Who are you gonna have on again?
I'm gonna have Jeff Hicks over on my channel. We're gonna be talking toys.
Yeah. So either go see me and. Yeah, see me and Paulie, jump back to Vinny, have us both open. It'll be a good time. And ETEP too. We got to support everybody.
That's right.
But I will talk to you guys again. Thank you everybody for coming out. We're going to end this pretty quick. First to know, my pronouns are